2028 will be a major test for the Republican Party. For a decade, the movement has been shaped around one singular figure, Donald Trump. But what's going to happen when Trump is no longer at the top of the ticket? Will it be a bloodbath, or will a clear successor emerge? These are 5 of the most likely figures to carry the torch. Marco Rubio's relationship with Donald Trump didn't exactly start smoothly.
Well, you're the only person on the stage that's ever been fined for hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
At the time, Rubio represented a very different direction for the Republican Party. He was seen as a part of the more traditional wing of the GOP. Trump, on the other hand, was reshaping the party into something completely different. As we all know, Rubio lost that primary. But his story didn't end there. Over time, Rubio adapted to the political environment that Trump created.
Together, we will make America greater than it's ever been.
Today, Marco Rubio serves as Secretary of State and acting National Security Advisor in the Trump administration, and previously held the role of acting archivist. He is also managing special assignments such as directing the transition of the Venezuelan government. Some outlets have even compared Rubio's current influence to Henry Kissinger, one of the only figures in modern history to hold similar foreign policy power. Instead of opposing the movement, Rubio found a way to operate inside of it, and I think he's done a great job. JD Vance's relationship with Donald Trump did not begin as an alliance. During the 2016 election, Vance was openly critical of Trump's candidacy, at one point even calling himself a never-Trumper.
I'm a never-Trump guy. I never liked him.
In private messages that later became public, he also compared Trump to Hitler, reflecting how divided the Republican Party was in 2016. At the time, Vance was best known as the author of Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir focused on the struggles of working-class Americans, many of whom would later become a core part of Trump's base. But as the political landscape began to shift, Vance's position evolved as well. By 2022, he was running for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, this time with Trump's endorsement.
JD Vance, Marine, author of Hillbilly Elegy. President Trump's endorsed America First conservative.
Trump fought back, and so have I. Now I'll take our fight to the U.S. Senate. I'm JD Vance, and I approve this message.
With Trump's support, Vance won the Republican primary and went on to win the general election, quickly becoming one of the newer national figures associated with the MAGA movement. His rise continued when Trump selected Vance as his vice president, placing him directly inside the administration and giving him one of the most visible roles in the Republican Party. However, Trump himself has stopped short of naming Vance as a successor. In early 2025, when asked,
"Do you view Vice President JD Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
Trump responded,
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
There's also open questions about Vance's own political plans. According to recent reporting, Vance is not committed to whether he intends to pursue a presidential run in 2028. Whether he runs or not, Vance has proven himself as an important figure within the MAGA movement. Ron DeSantis built his national reputation as governor of Florida by advancing policies closely aligned with the MAGA movement. His profile grew significantly during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Florida took a different approach than many other large states, reopening businesses more quickly, keeping schools operating, and opposing vaccine mandates. Florida's approach helped protect jobs and keep the state's economy stable during a period of widespread uncertainty, significantly raising DeSantis' national visibility among Republican voters. In 2024, DeSantis made a major move, entering the Republican presidential primary against Trump.
Now, if you look where we are now, it's a lot different than where we were in 2016. And Donald Trump's a lot different guy than he was in 2016. He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance. He should explain why he didn't have Mexico pay for the border wall.
At the time, Trump remained the dominant figure within the party, and the primary quickly became a test of how much influence the MAGA movement still held. As the race intensified, Trump began openly criticizing DeSantis, even giving him the nickname
Sanctimonious.
Ron's campaign also faced moments of negative media attention that distracted from his political message. In late 2023, online speculation began circulating that DeSantis wore high heels, quickly becoming a viral talking point across social media.
I know you were on, what do you call it? On, what was it? Bill Maher, and Bill Maher talked about the boots. I've seen you walk with these boots. Go ahead and play this clip. This on TikTok went viral. It doesn't have 1 million views. It doesn't have 10 million views. This thing's got 1.2 million likes. And some people are wondering,
What are they? I don't even. I haven't seen that.
They've not shown this to you. Okay,
No.
what they're trying to say with this is that in your boots you have heels.
No.
That's what they're trying to say.
Those are just standard off the rack Lucchese.
How tall are you? How tall are you, Governor? How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay.
While the issue itself was relatively minor, DeSantis became a meme for a short time, no pun intended. Ultimately, Trump secured the nomination, reinforcing his continued dominance within the party. Following the primary, the two were not seen together publicly for some time. But in 2025, Trump and DeSantis appeared together during the opening of Alligator Alcatraz, signaling a more cooperative relationship after the tensions of the campaign. More recently, some reports have indicated that DeSantis has been considered for potential roles within the administration. While his direct challenge to Trump complicated their political relationship, it also demonstrated that he was willing to compete at the highest level of national politics. If you ask me, with DeSantis being term limited as governor, he is most likely going to run in 2028, and I think he has a pretty good shot. Steve Bannon represents a different type of influence within the MAGA movement. Unlike the other figures discussed, Bannon is not an elected official, but his role in shaping the political direction of the movement has been significant. Bannon gained national attention in 2016 when he was brought in to help lead the final stretch of Trump's presidential campaign after Paul Manafort stepped down, helping the campaign sharpen messaging on an America First agenda. After serving as White House chief strategist early in Trump's presidency, Bannon remained closely tied to the political battle surrounding the movement. In 2022, Bannon was sentenced to jail after being convicted of contempt of Congress related to the January 6 investigation, a case that was politically motivated. Following his release, Bannon continued to play a major role in conservative media, using platforms such as his War Room podcast to promote candidates and policy ideas aligned with the MAGA agenda. His continued influence was reflected during CPAC 2025, where attendees were asked who they would support as a future leader of the movement. In that survey, JD Vance received 61% of support among attendees, followed by Steve Bannon with 12%, placing him ahead of several elected officials. While Bannon is not a traditional candidate for office, his role in shaping messaging and supporting MAGA-aligned candidates has kept him closely connected to the movement's long-term direction. Any conversation about the future of the MAGA movement will always lead back to the person who built it in the first place, Donald Trump. Since 2016, Trump has remained the central figure shaping the direction of the Republican Party. One of the most unusual dynamics surrounding the 2028 election is that Trump himself has repeatedly declined to fully rule out the possibility of running again. Some of Trump's allies have gone even further. Steve Bannon has publicly suggested on multiple occasions that there are ongoing discussions about possible legal or political paths that could allow Trump to run again in 2028.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is. But there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28.
While the constitutional questions surrounding a third presidential term remain widely debated, the continued conversation itself highlights Trump's unique position within the movement. At one point, Trump 2028 hats were even sent to California Governor Gavin Newsom, signaling that Trump is well aware of the ongoing speculation surrounding his political future.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me... Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves?
At the same time, Trump has sent mixed signals, sometimes appearing to rule out another run, and other times leaning into the idea. He has even floated the possibility of future ticket combinations, including the idea of a Marco Rubio JD Vance ticket.
We have JD, obviously, the vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable.
Whether as a candidate, a kingmaker, or simply the defining voice of the movement, Trump remains the central figure in any discussion about what comes next. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks to Jacobus Arminius for recommending this video.